Now, the Israel-Hamas war has been witnessing an inflection point now with a deadly blast, especially at the Gaza hospital that claimed more than 500 lives. Soon after reports of hospital strike was reported, Palestinian president and the Jordan king announced that they were pulling out of a planned Arab summit with President Biden that could have been a stepping stone to peace initiative. This at a time when the US has been going all out in its outreach to the Middle East countries to prevent the escalation of Israel-Hamas war.
The Western media went all out to lap out information doled out by Hamas. They called the strike on hospital as Israeli airstrike and even believed the death figures given by Hamas. BBC, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, LA Times all called it an Israeli airstrike that killed hundreds. It became imperative for Israel to hit back. And Israel Defense Forces hit back hard at misinformation campaign. IDF stated that this attack was due to Hamas rocket misfiring.
It was at the time at 6:59 p.m. when there were reports of an explosion at the Al-Hali al-Mahadani hospital in Gaza City. According to our intelligence, Hamas checked the reports, understood it was an Islamic Jihad rocket that had misfired and decided to launch a global media campaign to hide what really happened. They went as far as inflating the numbers of casualties. They understood with absolute certainty that it was a rocket misfired by Islamic Jihad that damaged the hospital. No structural damage. The walls stay intact. No craters. These are the characterized that shows that are not an aerial munition that have hit the parking lot.
Israel has presented series of evidence to drive their stand that hospital attack was by Hamas and not due to Israel airstrike. Proof 1. Al Jazeera footage that was recorded during the strike shows that at 6:59 p.m. a rocket aimed at Israel misfired and exploded and hit a hospital that was in Gaza. Proof 2. Israel released terror intercepts between two Hamas terrorists. This is an audio recording of two Hamas terrorists when they realized that their rocket misfired. Proof 3. Israel military laid intelligence evidence on attack. A visual analysis of the strike and the location shows Islamic Jihad fired about 10 rockets from a nearby cemetery at 6:59 p.m. And there were reports of an explosion at the hospital at that time. And this rocket caused major damage in the parking lot of the hospital. Proof 4 is in the form of infographic that shows this attack was carried out from a populated region in Gaza, just behind the hospital in a cemetery in Gaza. Asserting that Israel wasn't behind the strike, the Israel Defense Forces published drone footage that the deadly blast at the Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital parking lot was not caused by its ordnance, which it said would have left a crater and not a burning parking lot and shrapnel-pocked roofs. While the blame game continues over who is responsible for the deaths of 500 people, the hospital attack has become the biggest talking point, triggering protests across the globe. Agency report, Republic TV.
Now, protests have been taking place in several countries over the Gaza hospital blast. Protesters have been seen angry over the deadly explosion that has claimed 500 people and left hundreds and thousands of people
defeated and helpless and also hopeless and nihilistic about what's been happening. But I also do think it's important to not wallow or dwell in those negative feelings. And if you could, to, harness whatever you're feeling into energy, and then you could spread that to more and more people.
The war started when the Hamas rampaged across communities in southern Israel on October 7. There were conflicting claims of who was responsible for the explosion. Hamas officials in Gaza quickly blamed an Israeli airstrike. Israel denied it was involved and released a flurry of video, audio, and other information that it said that showed the blast was instead due to a rocket misfire. Agency report, Republic TV.